Is it visible? Anyway, last time we have discussed that the ARDL model is a general form of model, and you can derive a lot of model out of this. Now we will illustrate this how we can do this. So let me take the data for any country out of WDI, and then we will do the analysis to see what happens. So here we have data of WDI. Let me sort this data so that one country is at one place. I am going to sort this with respect to country name. You might be knowing that this is very huge data set. There are so many indicators for all of the countries of the world in this database. So you have Afghanistan and then other countries as well. Now let me find the data for Australia. Here from this point the data for Australia starts, and I am going to get the data on consumption, GDP and inflation. Why inflation? Because I want to illustrate something others as well. I have to take GDP current LCU. Let me copy this data to a new file. Then I will pick the data on household consumption. This should also be in current LCU. And at the third place, I want to get the data for inflation as well. Inflation, consumer prices, let me pick this data as well. Yes. LCU is more relevant. Look, the GDP of Pakistan is increasing. Last time it was 6% growth, and before that it was again growth of something above 5%. But if you look at the GDP in terms of dollars, you will not see growth, because the prices are measured in local currency and the value of dollar is going up. So the now if your income is increasing from 180 to 2000, it is again $1. So in terms of dollar, there is no increment in the GDP for last 3 years. Yes. So the current LCU is relatively better reflection of what is happening in the economy. No, whatever the series you have decided to use, you will apply the Unit to the same series. If you have decided that I am using per capita GDP, then the unit root will be applied to this. If you are taking GDP in terms of per capita, then consumption should also be in terms of per capita.
Which of them shows better results, in total or per capita?
It depends on your purpose. For example, I have said you that it's better to take local currency unit if you are going to analyze the economy of Pakistan. But if you want cross country comparison, then dollar would be better. And in similar way, if you want to see what happens with the income of people, it's better to take per capita. But if you want to see what happens with aggregate economy, it's better to take aggregate.
Okay. So is it possible also to look at the constant terms or current terms?
Yes, you can take constant as well. I am deleting these rows, these are not necessary now. This is my GDP data, and then consumption, and then this is inflation. Uh, Let me save this data. Okay. So now I am going to Ox matrix. This is not the file data you want to use. Open desktop and this is my desired file. Look, like uh, what you have done yesterday, the analysis should start by visual inspection. Let me see the graph of GDP and consumption for Australia. Last time we have analyzed the data for Pakistan, but this is now Australia. But you can see again the same phenomena that we have observed yesterday. The gap between two series is increasing, is widening. So in order to smooth this gap, what you can do, you can take the log transform. And the log transform will also take care of non-linearity which is visible in this. So if you look at the data of inflation, it should not show upward trend. Inflation is always coming back to the mean value. Let me see. This is your inflation. The peak is in 70s, and you know there was very high inflation at that time, and then the inflation is coming back. Now if you can have the data for 21 and 22,